So today I'm going to try a bit of an experiment. I don't know if it's going to work. This might be a boring video. So ethnography, right, as opposed to vlogging. Vlogging is this scripted, or not scripted, but curated in that I'm telling you a story. I'm bringing you on an adventure. Hey, we're building a fridge pooper, or hey, we're going to harvest beans. Let me show you this activity that we're doing. So that's good for some things, but what I want to try to do is not just capture the activities we do, but who we are and how we think. And that's a little harder to do. I'm not quite sure how to do that yet. So this is going to be an experiment of trying that. It's about to be lunchtime. I'm just going to bring out a bunch of cameras and set them up and film lunch and film the conversation that happens, and then edit it and try to make it interesting to you. Let me know if it is interesting or what I could do to make it more watchable, right? So it'll certainly be, it'll be true, it'll be like what we said in lunch. I don't know if it's engaging content, and I want to make both. I want to create things that are true and that have anthropological weight to them, that can tell us something objective about a culture, whatever that is, something measurable, but that's also interesting and engaging, and that makes you feel what we feel. So I'm gonna film lunch. Please let me know how you think it went.
How much does it see the other camera though? Is that
it doesn't matter.
It's not going to create a visual feedback system, or is like
I like
glaring?
That. I like that quite a bit.
Okay.
I want us to be aware but unaware that we're filming.
Thank you for
Are they on?
Yeah, they're on and recording.
Okay. Will you stir fry me?
Stir fry you? That sounds painful.
Just a little bit.
Almost everything about political psychology shows that being right-wing is a form of pathology. It's a pathology of having a hyperactive amygdala, that's fear response, that is dealt with through being more aggressive. But there's one interesting finding, which is conservatives are better at predicting what liberals will think, what their opinions will be, than vice versa. I'm wondering if you guys if you can make any sense of that, if you guys know any conservatives.
Well, you've told me that before.
Yeah, I heard you say that before.
But I guess the word I would take issue with is pathology, right? Like, I tend to think of pathology as dysfunction, and you could make an argument that right-wing governments are functional, in that they wield authority efficiently and produce national means and national ends. Not necessarily good for people, but it's functional.
Well, I'll give you a list of the things that shift people to being more conservative. So, cognitive load, that is being busy thinking about something else, being hungry, being in pain, being irritable, and experiencing subconscious fear of death.
How did they find that?
They manipulated all of these things in controlled studies.
Right, so they make someone hungry and then give them a survey and be like, do you prefer authoritarianism to...
Exactly. They randomly assign people to different conditions and they see their responses. How do you feel about this poor immigrant that has to be taken back to his country and burn that country down? Is what a hungry person, even Supreme Court judges will become almost 10 times more punitive.
But okay, I mean, I believe you that they have experiments to measure this. I'm always very skeptical of social psych things where, what can a survey tell you,
Right.
But yeah, I'm sure that there are some social scientists that work really well and hard at developing a survey that can measure this stuff.
I mean, they find differences, and those are the same differences and to find genetic predictors for.
Well, so what are the...
Statistically, it's strong.
What are the things that could make you into a liberal, though, is the question.
Thinking of people as individuals, you ask about a person, like, say, what do you think should be done with this prostitute, with this welfare mom, with this immigrant? But then if you just ask a question, what do you think would be, given their picture, what would be their favorite color or their favorite food or something? If you just start thinking about a person as a person, it shifts people to being more liberal.
That's not exactly a negative connotation of, like, what could shift you. So what about having a guilt complex?
Well,
Like,
people
being
are like,
made
I
to-
don't deserve all of this wonderful wealth. It must have come from colonialization. Like, how else could it?
Yeah, or like making someone feel guilty. They become more liberal if they feel guilty. Making people feel ashamed. Do they feel more liberal? I don't know.
Yeah, that's...
So all I'm saying is, like, if
No.
you're just studying, like, oh, being hungry makes you conservative. Like, those are negative things. And, oh, thinking about people as individuals or
Oh, yeah,
having
yeah,
this sense of
some
love
bias
and,
there. There's
like...
a lot of bias there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, does that make you feel more liberal? Or does actually these other negative things, that, like other pathologies that you could have, also make you liberal?
Yeah.
It's just like a... I don't know.
Yeah.
I think one thing you said is that most of these studies are done by liberals. Because they're in academia.
All of them.
Almost all of them.
Academia, social psychology is the highest of all disciplines in liberal, like over 95%. And the other, like, and you are shunned. I mean, as you cannot really be a conservative.
Yeah, that's...
So your studies are going to be biased.
Absolutely, your entire view,
Yeah.
your entire paradigm is going to be self-affirming, but nobody can really enter the field and, like, sustain as a conservative and publish studies.
Well, I mean, I guess it makes me wonder what we mean by pathology in general. You know, like,
Right.
we know what bodily pathologies are. We know, like, okay, there's this, like, weird creature and it's eating your insides. Like, let's get rid of the creature. You
But
know? Like-
but even bodily pathologies can be like, well, in a certain context, this is an adaptive response that maybe is confused. So
Yeah.
I think liberalism, conservatism, those are responses. Sorry, cameras.
We're eating.
I just feel like they're also at the table with us, and I don't feel like they should enter their. I feel like they should be like eating the salad.
Well, because there was this one human at the communities conference I mentioned to you, Redwoods, who experienced reality as if they were
of them.
right one body. They experience reality as if there were six people. The normal way that our society has treated individuals who feel as if this is the case is to say that it's a pathology. We call it multiple personality disorder. And those people tend to be dysfunctional, right? They're disproportionately homeless and all the rest, right? So there's a good reason to call it a pathology, because if it damages your ability to be a happy human, you know, then it's a pathology. But Redwoods was saying, like, this doesn't feel like a pathology to me. Like, this just feels like who I am. And, like, yeah, it's been hard for me. Who we are, yeah. Yeah, like, it's been hard for us to, like, live in the world that doesn't recognize this as legitimate, but, like, to call it a pathology is insulting, right? So, you know, if I'm a conservative person and be like, oh, like, this study is pathologizing the way I see the world, like, I don't want to be labeled as diseased because I have a different perspective than you.
I mean, I guess it's just like, well, you have unresolved anger issues. I mean, you have unresolved fear that manifests in forms of anger.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
xenophobia.
that may be true.
Yeah, but and it's like xenophobia is very adaptive when these Mexicans are just trying to come take your jobs.
Well, I don't think it's adaptive there. I think it's adaptive when you're
would
a
think.
pastoral tribe and those foreigners really are trying to come and steal your cows. Like, then it's super adaptive.
Right. Then maybe it's just kind of like vestigial to the modern world.
Yeah, I mean, that's a claim I've heard.
Like jealousy, right? And what are we doing about Bobby Joe's leaky faucet?
Who's Bobby Joe?
I didn't
I don't
text Kelly back. I don't know. Our neighbor texted us at like 7 in the morning saying, Bobby Joe has a leaky faucet. Can you help? And then I soon forgot about it. until you
We
just
should
mentioned
probably go help Bobby Joe.
It's going to require replacing the faucet, I think.
it. Yeah. Who could Bobby Joe be?
I so don't care. I mean, like, what if it turns out that somebody over there is named Bobby Joe?
I mean, they probably are.
Yeah.
You probably have a
there's
leaky
some-
faucet then.
I don't know. Can you, I don't know. How do you text somebody that you don't care without sounding like you just don't care? You lie. There's no way to lie.
Well, it would be nice to go and meet Bobby Joe.
I mean, I don't know if we have the time to fix a leaky faucet, but it's nice to like help out the neighbors.
Great. You guys are all gone?
No.
So it's a nice thing that nobody really wants to do.
I mean, if it's a thing that I can actually offer assistance on in some meaningful way,
That's true. I don't really know how to fix a
I'd
leaky
go.
faucet.
Right.
I mean, I
Or
don't
better
care,
yet,
I'll
if
even
you go and say, I don't know how to fix it, I'm sorry, then that also shows that we care. We're just incapable.
I'm willing to stand there and stare at their faucet with them.
Look at a timer. Like,
Should
see
we
if
all?
if the leaks are increasing.
Should we all go and stare at a leaky faucet?
Well, if we can maybe just get a video of it and speed it up a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, yeah. Once and for all.
Thanks for fixing the pot.
Now I'm gonna go proceed to fix another thing that I noticed needed this.
So, we get salt from Kelly, I guess is what I was trying to say.
If we look at Bobby Joe's faucet.
Yeah, we could get salt from Bobby Joe.
Nobody's going to town now.
I need to go to the post office.
Oh. They're not going to sell salt there. I guess you can order.
Yeah, did I tell you that those ladies from Lamp Mountain wanted to buy 2 books?
2 of them?
Yeah. They're gonna mail us $50.
Oh. Ella, when are you going to make necklaceness?
Yeah, they wanted spoons too.
Do you want to also just include a spoon? You want to include one of the big spoons?
Perhaps. Not exactly in the flow of making spoons.
Yeah. I'm so glad to see that grass is recovering. And the chickens are contained.
Oh, did you change something?
I keep modifying it.
Yeah, except I know there's a gap in the back because I modified it poorly. But they haven't found it yet.
I mean, it makes so much sense for them to free range on the grass. They eat a lot of grass. They eat a lot of grass seed.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense for them to be free-ranging, but they're just so annoying.
Yeah, they are.
At least they're not as annoying as Shmoo.
That is true. Shmoo.
Shmoo was something else. I mean, it's one thing to step in chicken poop, but to step on a duck continuously.
Yeah, that I think is a
Shmoo
pathology.
just wanted
That
to be
is-
under your feet.
You think Shmoo had a pathology?
I think that counts as a pathology because it was.
Well, but here's the thing. It's a pathology for a domesticated duck.
Yeah.
If you were a wild duck, that would not be pathological, right?
You want to go chase a wolf? Tell him to leave your mate alone? I think what's happening is
But
that...
we're not wolves.
No, I think he imprinted on humans, and he thinks of humans as conspecifics.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, why he's acting this way. He does not act this way towards a cat.
Oh.
Does not care. Cats or dogs or anything like
he
that.
thinks we're literally trying to get with his lady.
Yeah.
Well, or we're threatening the territory, period. Like, even if we're not interested in a lady right now, it could develop into something later. I don't know, but...
Was he chasing Scott and Josie too?
Yeah.
Okay. So he didn't imprint on them.
No, I mean, he just... No, he imprinted on all humans, and I bet he would try to mate with humans. And so males will imprint for their sexual partner. Females are influenced both by their genetic endowment and their imprint as to who to be receptive to.
But
So females are more flexible
Shmoo
sexually.
is definitely interested in his lady friend,
Yeah, that's true.
the duck,
Yeah,
not just a human.
that's true. So I guess he's somewhat flexible. I I wonder how he would have responded to other ducks. He didn't care about chickens.
That's true.
He didn't try to get with the chickens. I don't think.
At Eastbrook, they have a duck.
Actually, I think he did.
Yeah, at Eastbrook they have a duck that tries to get with the chickens, and he's a huge duck. He's a Muscovy, so he's like 3 times the size. And he's actually he's killed and raped chickens, or raped and then accidentally killed chickens.
Wow, that's not easy to do.
He's 3 times bigger, and he's like
Still.
he smushes them.
Yeah.
That's pathology.
Yeah, that's pathology.
No context by which it's adapted.
Well, no, I mean it's mismatch.
Yeah.
Right. The context by which it's adapted is that the horniest guys tended to get the ladies, and if
Well,
their
yeah,
horniness
but
misfires,
but having such a crude assessment of who's your conspecific is not adaptive.
yeah,
'Cause nature is a little deficient.
yeah, that is true.
But what does he care? Right? It's not.
I think it's when sexuality gets frustrated that you see those things coming out.
Oh.
Like he's raping chickens because there were no other ducks.
Oh.
Like you've heard the same thing. There was reports of otter rape murders,
Really?
and it was happening because the otter population had dropped to so low that males were finding it increasingly difficult to find mates, and so when they did eventually find them, they were advancing upon them so vigorously that they would kill them.
Drown them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the.
Normal that the negative end of the solar panel not be connected to anything.
Yeah, it's resting on the ground, so it's working. Sort
Great.
of. The ground's wet enough, but I don't. I try to grab it before the click happens, so you don't get shocked. And I lost the rod.
Is that?
What? That's working.
I mean, yeah, it's working, but
I will do it right when I find the grounding rod, and it's on my mind to find it. What am I supposed to do now? Okay. I guess I can make one out of something else.
Yup. Like anything.
Does it lose efficiency by having a high resistance negative path?
Probably, but I don't think it's such
we have
high resistance.
every reason to just stick a iron rod in the ground and run a wire to it.
Yeah, but what
a
iron
nail?
rod?
A nail and some wire?
I mean, that would. I would go for a piece of rebar so that you could actually ground it in the ground and it's not going to come out of the ground.
I know, but we don't have any rebar, so.
Well, you guys should be easy to come by.
And
I
I never wear shoes, and I don't like getting shocked. And so far, I haven't found a correlation between whether the fence is charged and how much the chickens are getting out. And granted, there's a ceiling effect on the chickens getting out, but
Right.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem to.
The electric charge on the fence is to keep predators out more than chickens in. Chickens with their feathers really don't feel shocks that much.
Right.
Rejoice has explained this to me, or like when we were setting up the chickens and I was chatting with Rejoice about it. She explained this to me. It's like chickens don't care.
Right. Yeah,
about
it's true.
electric fences.
I've seen them get shocked, and I can hear the shock, and they just retract for a second and then resume. So it really, has very little effect. And sometimes I feel that I just don't care as much. We leave the fence unplugged a lot of times.
It's true. Nobody's been eaten yet.
No, I'm not wearing shoes. I feel like maybe people that have more shoes than me.
Careful now, though. Don't be like Rainforest Lab and end up with one lone survivor chicken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fun. Yeah, I mean, as long as Chuck keeps feeding the raccoons over at his place, probably won't steal any chickens.
Does he do that on purpose?
Yeah.
I've heard,
Huh, that's
but
interesting.
I don't know if it's very often.
Does he feed them
I think
to
maybe-
keep the chicken losses down?
Right.
Is that an explicit?
What does he feed them and
Because
what
they're
for?
cute.
Because they're cute.
And they
Okay.
come up to the porch.
They're
And
begging.
they want
yeah.
food.
And if you don't give them, they'll break into the house. So
Well, I guess because they come for the cat food that he has on the porch.
Yeah.
did you hear this from Chuck?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This isn't just a dirty neighborhood rumor.
From his wife.
I mean, it could be, but he started it.
People starting rumors about themselves. How do you do that?
Yeah, it's hard to do. You like leave notes about it. I bet there's a Facebook app where you can start a rumor.
Well, there's
Like
that
here.
there's that new viral service Saraha. It's like you make an account with Saraha, and then anyone else with a Saraha account can write things about you anonymously for you to read.
Oh, the anonymity is not available on Facebook, so this is a little...
Yeah, so it's like, tell me what you really think about me. I think it's probably popular with 16-year-old girls.
I really like that because there's so many people I want to say amazing things about them, and it feels too awkward.
I believe that both
That-
Rejoice and Autumn have Saraha accounts. I saw it on the book face.
Well, maybe we should get one too.
But people might say terrible things about you.
What does it matter? Oh, it's available for all to read?
No. I think it's just available for you to read.
Oh.
That might not be true. I think you can read it and post it publicly if you choose to.
Okay.
I sent a very long budget email.
Mm-hmm.
Can we meet after breakfast tomorrow?
Yep. Cool. Right.
And should we say like
Yeah, so why not?
2 hours? An hour and a half?
Sure.
We have to budget time for the online budget.
Well,
Yeah,
I think, your attention flags after about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it to go longer than 2 hours. I don't think that it should have to go longer than 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't think so. But
we should read the agenda that you wrote.
yeah, it shouldn't honestly, maybe we could do it in an hour. But I also don't want to feel like we need to rush through it.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's the other thing. I need to be at this meditation place at 11
Oh,
Oh,
Tomorrow.
yeah, for the interview thing.
for the interview.
Mm.
Yeah.
what's that about?
I got a job as a cook at the meditation center that Griffin goes to.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. They're going to put me up for 6 days. 8-hour shifts, 12 hours an hour. And I get to be in a meditation center the rest of the time.
Hell yeah.
And they have Wi-Fi.
And they have Wi-Fi.
Oh man.
So I'm
If
going to
I
edit
were-
some video.
If I were in settling down in this area, I would want the fuck out of that job.
I should say that in the interview. I'm here because I just want the fuck out of
They
this job.
seemed
I don't know how to cook. I don't care. I just want the fuck out.
when I spoke with Pat, the head cook, she seemed like so thrilled that there was
Really?
someone who knew how to cook. Because I've cooked at conference centers before, so I mean, I guess she told me I was overqualified, which I've never heard anyone tell me before, so that was nice. But it sounded like they really needed help, so
Cool.
you could potentially get that job, and it's part time. It's like a week a
Right.
month.
Right, I'm not settling down around here right now, but if I were, I would definitely be into a job such as that.
Does anybody want to do a medical study? The nurse begged me to find some men.
What dates? How much?
I mean, she'll take you anytime, I think. They're desperate. $4,000, and you have to go up there 3 times, and it's 2 days every time, I think.
Okay.
Or 2 nights.
4 times, 2 nights. every time?
Three times. So it's a total of
Like
like six
6
to 8 days or something like that of
Okay.
total.
Okay. And what are they testing on?
So they're
us?
testing a tiny change in blood, in heart. Like, you know how the heart beats like boom, boom,
Yeah.
like, so QRS is the distance between the first
two
and second one
Yeah, yeah.
that are close together. Boom, boom.
Okay. Yes.
So it's a drug that's supposed to change it like ever so slightly.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Why?
For people that are at risk of something, I don't know. I read about it. The thing that weirded me out, I called about joining the study, and they're like, okay, are you vasectomized? I said, no. Okay, well, you're going to have to promise that you're never going to have children. Ever, ever, ever. Children. Ever. Again. I was like,
Yeah.
that sounds like not the kind of drug I want to
Yeah,
try.
Right. Yeah.
And then I told that to the nurse when I saw her, and she was like, tell me who said that. No, you don't have to. You just need to, during this phase of the study, you need to agree to not have children. A couple months after. I was like, but it's fine. I decided I wasn't going to tell her who I spoke to on the phone. didn't want to contribute to their pre-existing drama. But
It's good.
yeah, she's just, yeah.
This was the
I
Russian
mean,
nurse?
I said that, like, this must be a known mutagen. She was like, no, it's not. I was like, then why is this? Why are you looking for vasectomized males? Why aren't you looking for just anybody? I was like, safety.
I'm not down.
Yeah, I also don't feel very good about this.
Then why are you trying to convince other people to do it?
I feel like I should tell her I tried, and no one was interested.
In potentially known mutagens, yeah.
It's not a known mutagen. It's an unknown mutagen. We don't know why it causes triplets.
That makes it much better, Gil. So much better.
Conjoined
As long as
triplets.
no one knows why it happened, it's fine.
Oh, right.
Should we
Yeah,
back up?
let's get out of here.
Thanks for that experiment. Okay, so what did you think about that? Was it like even a little bit interesting? Did you watch it to the end? How can I make this kind of format where I'm just sort of like filming conversations? How can I make it more interesting for you sitting on YouTube watching? Let me know. What I liked about this video is that it sort of introduced you to a kind of like haphazard platter of the sort of things that we think about and talk about. Like we mentioned 2 other communities, Eastbrook Farm and Rainforest Lab, and we also mentioned our neighbors, Kelly and Chuck and Bobby Joe. So hopefully this conversation gave you a bit of context. It situated Cambia in a wider world. One of the things which came up a few times, which we talk about a lot, is janky infrastructure, like the chickens that are always escaping, or the ungrounded, shocking solar panel. Cambia is very much under construction. We had to build this place literally from the ground up. There was almost nothing here when we arrived, so many things are still kind of not exactly working yet. Another thing which came up a couple of times, because we think about it quite a bit, is money and jobs. Cambia is a fully income-sharing community, so we pool all of the money that we make, but we don't actually make that much money, and it comes from divergent streams. Like, I just got a job as a cook, and I sold some cookbooks, and Gil does medical studies sometimes, and Ella makes spoons, but we kind of have to cobble all the pieces together to make the budget work, and we have to talk about money a lot to make sure that we're all on the same page. So, budget meetings. So I think that conversation actually gives a pretty good picture of a lot of the concerns and lifestyle choices of Cambia. We didn't really dive deep into anything, but it gave a nice smattering of the kinds of things that we think about. What I want to do is, as much as it's possible through a screen, is to allow you to feel like you're living life with us in an intentional community. One of the most amazing, fascinating things about the internet is that it allows virtual communities to form. But I'm not yet sure how to interface these 2 kinds of communities, the land-based income-sharing communities like Cambia, and the virtual communities that you and I are a part of through this screen. So how can we best connect these 2 types of communities, the virtual and the physical? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this video, if it was at all fun to watch, and how to make it better, and how to build community around community.